besides the government, are there other gatekeepers in real estate?
Of course, the Omo Oniles.
Every industry has hidden systems. In season 1 of Inside the System,
How very critical are they to conversation of real estate here?
They are powerful because these are families that have held these lands for hundreds of years. Even the government has to negotiate with them.
we explore the Nigerian real estate industry through the eyes of those who've spent years inside it.
So you can't do away with the Omo Onile, the owners of the land.
Okay.
You have to go through them. They are the gatekeepers.
Joining me is George Mannix Uruakpa, CEO of GMX Homes, a seasoned real estate consultant, realtor, and filmmaker.
2019, 2017.
Yeah.
To sell like where we usually say 5 minutes from the Dangote Refinery.
Exactly.
Plots of land was going for like 500, 600k. Fast forward to today, a plot in that same axis is as high as 50 million.
Okay.
40 million naira because the Dangote Refinery is actually fully functional now.
Together, we uncover the hidden forces shaping money, trust, institutions, and competition, including incentives and opportunity in Nigerian real estate. Because while most people see buildings, the real story lies beneath the surface. Welcome to episode 1.
So hold on. That's right. Are you telling me that I can sign off a real estate agreement where in an installment payment where I get a pay if I default? Is it that all of my money vanishes, or where does the money go? You are someone who gets to capture the things that people want to buy from the customer's perspective. You also get to see it from how the sellers also want to capture it. How do these two things shape how you see real estate in Nigeria?
So it's a very unique job to actually be the one to create content and help developers.
Okay.
The company markets properties which buyers will connect to.
Okay.
But what I mean by that is you have to have the mind of a buyer and what expectations the buyer has.
Okay.
You have to put yourself in their shoes for you to be able to speak the language that they understand.
All right.
So that helps you tell the story better by not just focusing on the property, that's the house or the land. You have to discuss about development in that axis, the infrastructures that are in that location, and most importantly, upcoming infrastructures and development that are coming. So, there was a time we used to, as far back as 2019, 2017, 2018, we used to sell like where we usually say 5 minutes from the Dangote Refinery.
Exactly, and it's now, that's not a reality,
We always point 10 minutes from
2019, I remember.
Refinery. So what we were doing then was selling the vision to the buyers that this place is going to boom. This place is the biggest thing ever. So it is advisable that you key in now that it is still affordable. I just did a rhyme there. Advisable, affordable.
All right. Okay.
So let's quickly round up on that. So that was the driving message then, and a plot of land was going for like 500, 600K. If you remember, I said earlier, I
Okay.
sold to my younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to today, a plot in that same axis is as high as 50 million,
Okay.
40 million naira, because the Dangote Refinery is actually fully functional now. So that is what we do as a middleman, creator, content creator for real estate.
Can I ask you, what are the,
Yeah.
I know you're looking through the eyes of the Nigerian buyer, are there specific things that the average Nigerian buyer usually looks out for when they're buying real estate? Because I know you get to also capture those things.
First of all, they look for affordability.
Okay.
That's most times what they are always after, because they understand that real estate is not very, very open to you having everybody buy it. So they most times always ask for, is it affordable?
Okay.
And then you now have to they also look at location.
What social class of customers are you talking about here?
Come again?
What's the social class of the customers you're speaking about here right now?
The social what?
The social class of these customers, these specific ones that think affordability, is it all of them or maybe a specific status?
All.
All.
Both
Even the big guys.
lower class, middle class, higher class, everybody's looking for a good deal.
Okay.
Yes, everyone is looking for a good deal. Another thing they look out for is location.
Okay.
If the place is not too far, they always complain, it's far, it's
Proximity.
far, it's far. I want something closer to town. I want something that is very close to me. Do you get? Another thing they look out for is if a government is not going to come and take the land from them.
Yeah.
Because they are always scared. Okay, there is a demolition here. There is a government presence here. So they usually like to know if you will help them, assure them that this place that they are buying into, that there won't be problem in future and they will now lose their property.
Okay. Regarding what you just said about, I noticed you just also captured, they also tend to they are concerned about regulation as well. If this place is not government marked territory, I don't want to buy there and things like that.
Yeah.
If I were starting into real estate right now, where would you advise me to begin from? And if my goal is I want to make money as a young man?
And that question is very, very easy. Now start from where your budget is.
Any budget?
Because start from what you can afford. Because that is the that's the worst on the ranking of what makes people not to buy property the most.
Okay, budget is not an excuse.
Is the highest excuse.
Oh, budget is the highest excuse.
Is the highest excuse, yes, because everybody is wanting to buy when they have the millions.
What's your idea of an ideal budget? What's your idea of ideal budget? What's your idea of an ideal budget?
An ideal budget is what you can afford at the moment.
You don't have any specific amount?
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
There are land selling in Kobakbe in Ogun State, Abeokuta, for 620,000 naira.
And do they have all this? Are they for land banking opportunities, or do they have all these considerations you mentioned right now? Because the average buyer also considers things like you said, they look at proximity, they look at affordability. Yes, you just mentioned that. They look at proximity too, compliance. All these affordable lands, do they also capture all those concerns? Or is it a land banking opportunity? Is it something I'll buy and just forget that, okay, maybe later I to appreciate? Is there a real estate opportunity for the average Nigerian that captures now, not too long, not maybe in 60 years? But I understand, of course, that the beauty of our real estate is its sustainable value and development. I don't know if you get my point. Is there anything like that?
get you, but it's more like you are trying to run. You're asking a newborn baby to run before they crawl.
Okay.
Life is in processes, so is real estate.
So
Real
is
estate
real
is
estate.
a long-term investment.
How long?
Whoever is telling you that it's a get-rich-quick scheme, they just want you to pay and get your money.
How long will it take me to stay in real estate? Maximum, with a steady salary. Imagine I'm earning 500K every month. How many years will it take for me to maximize and reach that peak? I know you said it's a steady journey anyway.
As long as you want.
As long as you want.
Once you have bought the first land or the first house, you can hold it for as long as you want and make a good deal out of it in future.
Okay.
So if you decide to pull out in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 years, and take what you gathered from that moment, you still didn't lose, but you lost in the longer run because you probably would have just waited and made maybe 1,000% interest instead of just doing 50% or 100% interest.
Okay, let me ask you a very key question right now. And you understand that I see, from your own motion, from your own movement, I am sure you're also following the money. You started as a creator, a content person who captures cinematographic part of real estate. Now you're a realtor or a real estate broker. Is that motion showing that this is where the money is? Are you going where the money is? If you were me, if you're a young person starting real estate right now, what direction would you advise them to begin with? I'm looking at where the money is. Of course, I know.
In terms of what?
Where the money is, where the most value is.
So it depends on. First, you have to look in what are the skills you actually possess as a person. Because starting with the mindset of where is the highest money, you're already feeling from the beginning.
Okay.
You are putting the money first, which is actually going to frustrate you. So you have to look at your strengths first, look at your contacts, your network, look at your skill. So that will help you start and build. There is no rush to making money. If you rush in to real estate trying to gather the most money, you are going to rush out as soon as possible.
Okay, regarding that thing you just mentioned, how about the older guys, those that have a max of, they have a stash, they are looking to invest in real estate in Nigeria? These are people that are probably diasporic investors, people in diaspora, or people that are here. They already have this huge volume, or they have a crowd-funded stash of cash. What direction of real estate? Earlier in our conversation, you mentioned that some financiers are actually offering financing opportunities to people who don't have all their projects ready, people with uncompleted projects, and that they are mostly financing projects around a specific area. You said Lekki, Ikoyi. Is it that these areas are the places that give the most returns? Of course, I understand that it's almost obvious, but is that really it? You as an insider, those are the places that give the most returns.
So you go where people are going, and Lagos State is the most populated state in Nigeria right now, and in Lagos State, where you have most of the investment building projects coming up right now is Lagos Island. Those locations are actually receiving a lot of people.
Okay.
And the reason is because of there are a lot of commercial activities going on. Most of the company headquarters are in that areas, and then the elites as well. If you mention probably five richest Nigerians, and it is actually contestable.
Okay.
Probably you might see one or two of them living in that axis.
So Lagos is still that place.
Yes, Lagos is still that place, and then there's a population that is also highly densely in this location. So most people are looking to either buy, rent, or live in these places. So the demand is higher.
Okay.
Be that as it may, for somebody who wants to get into real estate, of course, development is the answer. You can't. The whole idea of real estate is development. So, in any aspect that you are looking at developing a property is usually the answer. Of course, you have to buy a land, and after buying a land, then you have to build on it, and then to people who need them, and then that's where you make your money from.
Okay. You mentioned while we are considering how buyers see real estate, how customers see real estate, you said sometimes in the considerations they factor in demolition concerns. Who are the gatekeepers? You as an insider, while you're trying to carry out stuff, maybe shoot a video, maybe broker some deal in real estate. Who are the people you will say are the real gatekeepers of real estate? Besides just the government, I know there are associations, there are regulatory bodies. Besides the government, are there other gatekeepers in real estate that really, if you do not consider this guy, if you do not factor them into whatever, things will not really happen?
Of course, the landowners, usually called in Lagos term, the Omo Oniles.
How very critical are they to conversation of real estate here?
They are powerful because these are families that have held these lands for hundreds of years. And even the government has to negotiate with them to actually have part of the real estate which the government needs. And government also buys from them
Okay.
as well. So you can't do away with the Omonile, the owners of the land.
Okay.
You have to go through them. They are the gatekeepers. They are even sometimes more powerful than the government. Yeah, so the landowners are very, very key to any discussion in real estate.
Okay. Looking at your own angle right now, one of the beautiful things I notice about content helps build trust. You get to see the people, as you are recording these videos, people get to appreciate that, oh, this is the CEO. I know when you record, of course, you always have a center of the trust figures while you're recording your videos, shooting them. Maybe someone is basically talking about a property. But I want to understand, how does trust work in real estate? What is the biggest fear people usually have about real estate in Nigeria, basically, whenever they want to buy?
What is the biggest what?
Fear in purchasing real estate in Nigeria that you've encountered countlessly.
Okay, most times the issue comes from government coming into a place where people have already started living or people have acquired to claim it.
Oh, wow.
And that's happened quite a number of times.
Why is this the case? Why does this happen?
So it happens because most people don't do the needful by getting the title of a property. So you're supposed to perfect the title of any property that you buy with the government.
Okay.
So by the time you don't do that, and government is in need of such land or property, they'll definitely come. And when they come, those that have titles, they can compensate them and then or relocate them to other places. But for those who don't have, then they will just be given nothing, and then they have to forgo their properties. So this has been the case recently, even in the axis. where government came recently and then took over most of the landed properties in these axis. And most people that bought into those places, most of them, they had no choice because they didn't do the right thing from beginning, which is going to get the title document for those lands after purchasing it from Omo Onile, that's the landowner. For some of them, again, they cut corners. So even when they saw that a particular area was under government acquisition, they still went ahead, followed back door to claim those lands without letting buyers know.
Okay.
And then
Are there examples where I know you mentioned clearly that these people, when you cut corners, there are always consequences. Are there cases where you notice that? I mean, you're an insider. Are there cases where you notice that there should be consequence for this, but this guy is doing fine? Are there other gatekeepers you've noticed that because certain real estate players have access to, the outcomes are usually different for them? The system.
I don't know if you want me to start mentioning locations. Is that what you mean?
No, not necessarily locations, but I'm saying, for example, you said, if I'm looking at how you worded it, you said some people, when they cut corners, there are always consequences. Of course, the government will probably, of course, for foreclosure and things like that. You understand? Now, I'm not saying, is this an ultimate truth? Is this 100% really how it plays out in this environment? Or are there cases where you can clearly tell that this person did not do the right thing, but they still get a pass? I don't know if you get my point.
You mean the developers didn't do the right thing?
Now, in cases where we have something you've established already. If you don't do the right thing in real estate, if you cut corners, there is a punishment for it. Now, I'm now saying, where the system, does the existing system, is this truth consistent across our system? Or are there exceptions to that case where you've noticed that even though certain people didn't do the right thing, were they able to pull strings? Were they overlooked? You get my point?
Oh, I get you. I have no evidence to back that. The evidence is usually in future when you see the government taking over the building or the land or demolition. For example, there was 500 million naira per apartment that was just demolished in Lekki environs.
Okay.
After how many years people have it was sold out at 500 million naira per apartment.
Wow.
In a high-rise building, and government came just last 2 weeks and started demolishing that place.
How long do you say it stayed? How long do you say it stayed? How long do you say this project stayed before demolition?
Well, I don't want to guess, but for a project to be sold out, at least from starting to completion to selling out, that process shouldn't take anything less than 3-4 years.
3-4 years. Why do you think it stayed that long till crisis point? And why do you think they waited that long, even though they knew they were doing the wrong thing?
We are also holding the government accountable with that. The government has to be more of proactive than reactive, because we believe that there are agencies that are in charge of going around and checking out and fishing out building projects that are not approved. So probably while this was going on, the developer was busy sorting people in the government and having their way until eventually the right person steps in and says, no, this is wrong, we cannot accept this, and then does the right thing.
What do you think? I thank you very much for what you just said now. I So that means people who are not just reading textbooks, we also understand that you might cut corners at the end of the day, but there's still something within and front. But what do you think, what kind of behavior from all your experience, what kind of behavior do you think the Nigerian real estate industry system rewards?
I think you should explain further.
Okay.
Question.
If I am in a class, if I study my notes very well, hopefully if it's a good class, if I have a good lecturer, if I study, I'm going to pass my exams. Am I correct? If I study properly, answer the questions according to the syllabus, marking scheme, I'm going to pass. Now, that is how it is supposed to be. Now, let's come to the practicality of the industry. What does it take to pass? What does it take to win in the real estate business in Nigeria? What does this industry reward? What behavior? Where you see, what did these guys do that they are the top? And everybody's like, hey. Is it because they were the best salesmen? Is it because they could close deals? Is it just black and white?
Generally, I would say start early and get in early.
Okay, that's one.
I don't know if I'm answering your question correctly. You can tell me, you can rephrase if I'm not.
Yeah, start early. Yeah, that is of course important.
So the early investors, the early developers, most times they get the juiciest deals where people haven't gotten to. They're already there, and they have acquired.
I think our call is going to end
The
soon.
largest portion of that area.
I think our call is going to end soon. Trust is very, very important. I understand how important it is in this people's industry. I know you can shoot the finest videos in the world, hire the finest models to market your property. Does it still really matter in the industry? Because we still have real estate developers, sellers who still do not close things. What does it take a serious developer or a serious real estate company to earn trust in Nigeria? What do they have to do?
Okay. The first property, the fourth land that you are going to sell, and make sure you deliver. So we have issues and cases where developers sell properties without title, without full payment to the owners of the land.
Okay.
And after people have bought and invested, then they refuse to allocate because they don't have the rights to the land anymore.
Why does this happen? How? Why?
So you remember the case of some influencer calling out
Some company.
group of
Some company like that.
some time last year.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was exactly the case.
What can you explain that? Imagine, okay, let me speak from a layman perspective because me, I'm an outsider. How do I sell something I don't have? I know there are offline properties. Of course, I know that's a very beautiful way to crowdfund the people's industry. But is there a time these guys take it too far?
Yeah, so when some people have like clauses, and when they buy, okay, I'll pay at this particular time, or I'll make half payment, I'll make a quarter payment, or I'll give you this in return, and then halfway they default. And the public don't have knowledge to this agreement, so they just fall victim.
So hold on. That's very key. Are you telling me that I can sign off a real estate agreement where in an installment payment where I get a pay if I default? Is it that all of my money vanishes, or where does the money go?
It's between them, the developer or the buyer and the owner of the land. I don't have any idea how they settle such. It's their business. But most times, people that are of major concern are the people that have already bought or invested in such property, because now they will be stuck. They don't have a property, and it becomes a very painful experience, which will discourage them from investing in future.
So, if I were starting my real estate company right now, what are the 5 things you would advise me to do to gain trust?
Like I said, your first project should be your testament project. Do it very well. Then you can show people that this is what you have done, and then you have delivered.
That's number 1.
Also, you have to build your online presence.
Okay, so social media really has a play, even if I want to sell to the rich.
Yes, you have to build your social media presence, make your presence very, very visible.
So are you saying even though I'm selling luxury property, you know, some people say things like, oh, Rolls Royce does not market online. If I'm selling luxury, quote, I know it's a very interesting word now in Nigerian real estate, but if I'm even selling to the likes of the Dangotes and the rest of them, I also have to be very present online. Or are there other networking presence I have to establish?
Luxury is variable. So what is luxury to one person might not be luxury to another person. So you are the product owner. You own the property. You should know if you should advertise or not. So there are premium properties that they do direct marketing, business to business marketing. So there are just different levels of
the marketing
that people use. Yeah. So because you're not seeing their advert doesn't mean they're not marketing.
They are probably still marketing, but in different forms.
To call group of billionaires, sitting them down and having drinks and talking about it is marketing. Talking about the property is marketing. Some people will buy a unit, 2 units, 10 units, and that's just over a drink.
Is there a kind of investment I have to make to my network? Some people say, oh, you need to go to Ikoyi Club, you need to do this. Is there a personal investment a real estate closer makes? Or do I just say, guys, my property is fine, it's enough? Or do I have to, is there some connection? Do I have to invest in the appearance, in packaging, in branding, in what? I know you said social media already, yeah?
Most definitely, because all that adds up. You know, we've mentioned the online presence. And how do you become relevant online? How do you become relevant? How do you become relevant? Your brand. So you need to have a track record. You need to have a unique way of doing your things.
So you're giving me 2 stuff now. Okay. What about the third one? Again? What about the third one? The third thing I have to do to interest.
So that was what we're talking about now. So after having an online presence, you need to have a track record as well.
Credentials, okay.
Yeah, you have a track record. For me now, my number of years in the industry will start talking to you because of you liked my face. No, you've seen me over time do this, and then you felt, okay, this guy is actually into the industry, and he has built his name. So that's give you the confidence to speak to me. So that is that as well.
Okay. Are there other criteria outside of the real estate market that I need to have to win trust?
You should also have a mentor.
Okay.
Someone who is there before you and has done it, been there, done that, that can guide you, tell you, okay, this is your left, this is your right, this is what you should do.
How important is a mentor?
Come again?
How important is a mentor here?
It's important, very important. It helps your journey, makes your journey shorter, helps you avoid some silly mistakes that you would have encountered on your way.
All right. Are there any system considerations as well to the trust? I know that the way Nigerians win trust is definitely different from how the Americans probably win trust. Are there any very unique Nigerian things I have to do to win trust as well?
I really don't know.
Regarding the Nigerian system.
If there is any unique way to trust.
Okay. All right. I already asked you about the behavior that this system rewards. I know you've also told me that there are some shortcuts that people make, which they also that they get burned. They get burned when they are taking the shortcuts, like not perfecting titles, doing all these weird things, and they get punished. Okay. Now, talking about poor building standards, we've seen collapses. We've seen. Why do you think that despite all the whole public panic and worries about collapsed buildings, why do you think we still have some of these things that show that there might still be poor building standards around? Because if another building collapses, it only tells us one thing: poor building standards. Why do you think it's still a thing?
It's still a thing because people will keep being people. People will keep cutting corners. People will keep not getting titles the right way.
Is it very expensive to get titles? Let's talk about the incentives now, sir. If I am cutting corners, that means it's cheaper.
No, there are no incentives. There are no incentives. It's straightforward. You just have to pay the government to get the title done, and then the issue is that most times it doesn't come early. It takes a long time. Probably you might be on a title for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you've not still gotten. So some people don't have the patience. They just go ahead and start building, or just talk to 1, 2 people, give them handshakes, and then hoping that whenever the title comes out, then they will be good. Then it backfires. So that's why we say the government has to be more proactive. Titles shouldn't take long before it's given out. If somebody comes in for a title, you can actually do such probably in a month or in 2 months and let it go. But by the time you start taking years, the environment is not developing. The person who has borrowed money or who has money tied down for the project has spent it. So that's also where the government comes in. They have to digitalize things. Going to Alausa every month, back to back, week to week, to just for the same thing, it gets tiring. Okay. And then the same government is not giving enabling environment for the developers, builders, or landlords to be able to do as much as they could have. Because
what do you mean by enabling environment?
Enabling environment, so like I said, digitalize things, digitalize the way of getting approvals, getting titles, open up places, build roads into places that are undeveloped, do gutter drainage, tar the roads so that people can actually have access to go and build. So all this affects builders and developers, and it also makes them at the mercy of the government.
So are there cases where the developers now say, well, since the government will not do these things, are there cases where you've even seen developers replace infrastructure because they want to perform? They want to get things out of the way. I mean, where I'm going to now to develop real estate, there's no roads, there's no electricity, but I really want to do the business. Is there a time are there times like that where things like that happen? Where they play those roles?
I can say almost 100% yes.
So should I consider that whenever I'm starting my company that, bro, you have to keep budget for this specific part of the business, so
yes,
you have to play the role of this and this?
It's a no-brainer. If not, you are going to just be stuck because after you've bought the land and then you've built and then there's no roads to access it, will you live in the bush or will you live in isolation? No. And even the people that are going to buy it, how did they get to the place? Even you that you bought it, how do you get to the place? You have to create a route, an access route. And that is why it's very, very, that's what makes the cost of most of these properties high. Because normally you should have just bought and built, but now you are fixing roads, you are building drainage. That is not your business. And meanwhile, you still paid government for documentation, you've paid for approval, you've paid everything that is due to the government. And then you then have to now start doing the government's work. And sometimes even when you want to build, the Omo Oniles will still come and say, no, you cannot start the road. And then you have to still settle the Omo Oniles for you to tar a road for them that will bring development to the state and to the government. So before you know it, the developer is overwhelmed, and then they just push all the costs to the
customer.
And then that's where you hear that real estate is expensive and all that.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for giving a proper picture on that area. Now, if I'm using, I don't have plans for the company, but I'm using that in case anybody who's watching has plans for this. And does the best product always win? Let me put it that way. In this industry, is it by this person understands architecture, this person understands building? Is that really what it takes to win in this industry?
Yeah, good product sales is there, honestly. If you have a very good product, word of mouth, people will buy and refer their family, their friends, and if sometimes even their enemies to come and buy. So yes, good products always, most times, sells. That doesn't take away the fact that you also have to do your marketing for you to be able to sell.
Okay. So what does it take? I don't want to discuss competition too much anyway, but what does it take for your company to win another company and say, hey, we are the best here? What do you guys do differently? What do you get to do differently that makes customers? I mean, you have always documented. One of the reasons why I like your conversation is through your eyes, you've been able to capture different things because you're a cinematographer, you're a broker. Through your eyes, what makes one real estate developer beat another developer in that kind of, what's their competitive advantage usually about?
Those are the 5 things I mentioned.
Oh, those same things.
5 things. Yes, those are the 5 things I mentioned.
Interesting.
And there are more. But because you said 5, so I just gave you 5. I hope you don't ask me to mention more.
No problem. We'll leave that for your expertise. If you guys want to, I'm going to put his social handle here so you guys can go and privately message him. Okay. Now, I want to understand clearly. I know our economy, once in a while, a new policymaker, a president can come in and just say, this is this, and boom. In those cases, what kind of real estate company usually survives? I think yeah. I gave you. Take your time.
That are able to upscale.
What do you mean by that?
Companies that are able to do things differently. Yes.
What kind of things?
Yeah. So most times is left for you to look into the industry and pick out those things. I can't just mention because there is no particular case study, but in every case, you see that everyone is doing a particular thing, and then the economy comes to play its part. So just look at other things that other companies are not doing, then you can introduce them. That would be probably the one.
So that makes you survive. Okay. You mentioned some gatekeepers earlier. I know you mentioned surveyors. You mentioned there are lots of people. You've mentioned Omo Onile. I know there are of course lawyers, agents in your industry. I know there are brokers like you. There are landowners. There are banks. You mentioned financing companies already. Who do you think is the most underestimated. People will not even just think about them. They'll just keep going doing their business until boom. They know that. So which of these players, which of these gatekeepers are most underestimated in your industry?
The realtors.
For real? You mean you guys are underestimated?
The realtors are the most powerful force in the real estate industry.
Why do you say so? Is it because you're one?
No, not at all. From experience, most companies who have made good success in real estate, they owe it to their marketers and their realtors, because after building, your building doesn't sell itself.
Of course.
It doesn't sell itself, and you as a person, or as a developer, or you as a landowner, you need a town crier or town crier to take the message out, and that is where the agents, realtors, marketers come in. And when they do, they come in numbers,
of course,
and from different locations, from different social media pages, from different websites. Everybody's talking about the same property. Tell me why it won't get sold out. So that is why you see that they are a very huge influence in the real estate industry. You just can't do away with the realtors. If not, you might just be grounded.
Interesting. So, but for your industry, what do you think is the biggest inefficiency that you're like, this is so much? And yeah, what's the biggest one for you? That you think if the government had just fixed it jejely, things would just go well?
Well, I think it's title. It's getting titles for land from government.
Okay.
It's a Herculean task, and it shouldn't be. A lot of undeveloped land properties today are tied to that reason.
Okay.
Because everybody is cramped in one location. Everybody's in one location. People are supposed to move, are supposed to be scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
But by the time you have just few people who have the authority, the approvals, then the rest of the undeveloped land remain grassy and bushy for years. Meanwhile, they could have been developed even by the governments themselves. So it's a factor that really affects real estate in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you very much for actually giving that. Are there other inefficiencies you think people have normalized now? And anytime it itches you, be like, this is not the right way to do this thing now. But you think it's become so normal that you don't even correct it again. What are there things like that you've seen or noticed?
Yeah, well, if I still want to go back, I'll still take it back to the government again. So I don't know if that.
Do you think some of these inefficiencies? Do you think some of these inefficiencies still exist? Maybe that's why they are not. Are there beneficiaries of these inefficiencies? Or you think maybe they don't just know it's inefficiency yet?
I don't know. I can't say.
Okay.
I don't know about beneficiaries of the inefficiency.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any reason why somebody will want to be inefficient.